Imagine one day you took a break from RuneScape for who knows how long, but then one day you decided to want to log in to check out RuneScape again. You remembered your password, you have your authenticator, but somehow you don't remember your bank pin. No problem, you just have to reset the bank pin, but you gotta wait 7 days. Before you quit, you also banked all your stuff including your coin pouch, so you got nothing but your account progress. But you wanted to play RuneScape now! You can either wait 7 days, or you quit RuneScape and never return. Or the third option, play the game without access to your bank pin, which is the situation I intentionally put myself in. How much money can I actually make within the next 7 days without ever needing to enter my bank pin? Without my bank pin, there's quite a number of things that I can't do. Well, the obvious one is I can't grab stuff from my bank or use the Grand Exchange. I can't put stuff in the bank using the bank deposit. No GP in my coin pouch, so I can't even buy anything from the shops. But even if I did have some, the bank pin won't allow me. Backpack space becomes very tedious to work with. Of course, I could easily be AFK skilling for the next 7 days, but that would be very boring. So, let's divide each of the days by how I should be making money. Let's also be realistic. You probably only have a limited hours of time to play the game each day. Let's do the same to myself. How much money can I actually make within these time constraints? Let's find out. With the help of the in-game chat, I began my 2 hours timer. For the first free day, I wanted to focus less on money making and more preparing myself to be able to make GP for the next upcoming days with the plan I laid out. The first thing that's bothering me is Surge and Dive being 20 seconds cooldown. I want to get that down to 10. I also picked 1 flax because I wanted to make a bow with a bowstring. I know I can't buy things from the shop, but I was wondering if I could pick up at least the free items from it, and it turns out I can. And then I decided to go to Prifdnis to pickpocket some workers for easy guaranteed GP, so then I can try to reclaim the Excalibur and the Explorer ring. I should have expected this, but that did not work because the bank pin doesn't let me, so I need to find another way to reduce my surge and dive cooldown by 10 seconds. And then I remembered there was relics. I can probably change my relic to do that. As I was making my way to the Archaeology Guild, I took this opportunity to grab a couple of Elder Logs so I can make the Elder Shirt Bow. And it turns out I can change my relics without a bank pin. Now my surge and dive should be 10 seconds. And then I head to Seer's Village to finish fletching an Elder Shirt Bow. And now I have a weapon. Except I can't use it because I have no ammo and this is not a charge bow. There are 2 ways to solve this problem. I can either find a weapon that doesn't use ammo, or I find a way to get ammo. I decided to go to Karamja because there is a throwing weapon from the Sar City that I can use. I also took this opportunity to get myself an obsidian cape. This might work, but the problem is this is a one-hand weapon, which means I'm missing an offhand, which my damage is severely weakened by this. So then I went to the player-owned farm because I have chinchompas on my farm. There's no produce because I stopped working on the farm. And then I remembered there was blisterwood weapons, but then I have to navigate through Dark Mayor because I can't access my medallion, and there's no way in hell I'm gonna go through that again. So I'm gonna try to find another way before I can do that. I can try using the quick bow, but this is a tier 5 weapon which is very weak. There's a dungeoneering weapon called the Gravite Charge Bow, which I was gonna try to see if I can use that one, but then the bank pin doesn't let me, so rip that. I was saying, okay fine, I'll just make some rune arrowheads and make some rune arrows. And then my gut feeling was telling me, you can't use the furnace without a bank pin, and that's true. I was thinking to myself, what kind of ammunition I can make without the furnace? And there was one that came to mind, dying arrows. They're also very good GP to make, so I decided, let's make some dying arrows. Tier 95 arrows on a tier 60 short bow? No problem, let's do it. Throwing my leftover materials into the bank deposit, I now have a weapon to use, but now I want some armor, and I need to think about what kind of armor I need to use. I want some power armor which gives me some damage, but unfortunately the easiest one I can craft is spine armor. And spine armor requires GP in the crafting, even the materials to flatten the hides requires GP. So I was like, okay, what about tank armor? But most of the tank armor requires a tanner which requires GP, which as I tested here, didn't work. I thought about maybe the quest armor, but this one's only tier 25 and the other tiers requires GP to reclaim. I went to the stronghold of safety to kill some cockroaches, picked up the carapaces, grabbed some free thread from Taverly, and made carapace armor, and made an extra one by accident. Tier 30 tank ranged armor, so I guess this is the best armor I can use for now. And after everything I've done, only 37 minutes have passed. I was kind of worried that I wasn't going to have enough arrows for the next 7 days, so I decided to make more arrows. Returning back to the planned schedule, there are 2 days that are very concerning for me. High level combat and bossing. Currently, I don't know what are the limits of my character with my current gear. I chose Dark Beast as a way to test my survivability. After struggling with the key a bit, I went to Dark Beast and tested my skills. And it was not going well. I was taking too much damage, but not enough damage for my prayer to sustain Soul Split. And even with Ice Asylum and food that they drop, I have too many close calls that I don't think this is worth doing. I need a creature that drops food and has good drops for GP and has half the HP of Dark Beast. After a while, I realized, wait, I have this creature in my Slayer dungeon. This Slayer creature is perfect. It's not too strong, has very good drops from the keystones. I found survivability to not be a problem, and it's thanks to the potatoes that they drop. I managed to get 1 keystone drop, which is fantastic money, and now I wanted to figure out what boss should I kill on day 6. I thought I was being smart. I'm like, I'll just take on King Black Dragon. Very easy, right? No anti-fire. King Black Dragon won't use Dragonfire that often. And I can just Soul Split heal it, right? Yeah, and then King Black Dragon clapped my cheeks. I sighed, and I was like, wait, if I was to die right now, I need my bank pin to pay my death cost. And I probably don't even have enough money to pay my death cost. I'm like, nope, I'm out of here. So next option on the table, something easier than King Black Dragon, is Giant Mo. Problem with this Mo is that it moves around a lot, and the drops aren't the most exciting. Another option is Chaos Elemental, though Chaos Elemental is very deep in the wilderness, but conveniently I always had my ED2 portal in Ward's Retreat so I can easily get there with no issues. Chaos Elemental is not too difficult with my setup, and it drops food for me to eat, which is okay. The annoying part is when the Elemental is constantly unequipping my items. Ooh, a Dragon 2H sword. After being teleported so many times or having my items unequipped, I will leave Chaos Elemental as an option, but I do want to try on one more boss, and that will be the Barrows Brothers. I have a chance of getting one of the Barrows equipment, which is worth quite a lot, so I think this will be a good choice. After failing such an easy challenge because I got distracted, I finally got my kill. But I have a problem, because I can't change my portals because that costs GP. I either have to teleport out of here and walk all the way back from Canopus Lodestone, or find my way out of here, which in this run, it took me forever to find my way out of here, so oof. With not much time left, I went to the Croesus area to get at least 1 big trove, and then I went to claim some free stuff from my area tasks. With day 1 done, I logged out for the day and prepared for the next day. For the next day, for non-AFK skilling, what I mean by that is I want to do some skilling where I'm actively moving and clicking on the screen and I can't just stand at one spot to skill the same thing. I technically already done this by making dye arrows, except this time I'm gonna be collecting propellant. But before I get started, it's a new day. New day, new outfit. In about an hour, I got about 19,000 propellants, so I should be expecting another 19,000 for the next hour. I got about 38,000, which is pretty decent money. Probably the most money I've made so far. With that being said, time to wrap up day 2 and prepare for day 3. Day 3. I was thinking to myself, what can I do to AFK skill? I can do AFK woodcutting, but my best hatchet is only the dragon hatchet, which isn't the best. Other art trees also only last 5 minutes, so I can't just stand in one spot. What about mining? I have my 2-better primal pickaxe, but the research nodes are nowhere near the bank. I can't use my Grace of the Elves for porters to automatically send the ores to the bank. I guess I can try to make some porters, but there's only so much I can use, and that would not be as AFK. Also, these porters require necklaces, which requires the furnace. No bank pin, no furnace, no porters. What about an ore box? Same situation. No furnace, no ore box. I could try the big graveyard, but without porters, it's not that AFK. What about fishing? No shark outfit to eat them, so my inventory will fill up quickly. On the subject of fishing, I made my way to the deep sea fishing hub. There are nets here where I can deposit fish to the bank easily. I can either do sailfishing or jellyfishing. Jellyfishing, the blue blubbers are 13k each, while sailfish are 7.5k each. I decided to go with jellyfishing. Like usual, it's a new day, which means a new outfit. For the next 3 hours, I just firmly grasped my jellyfishing rod in my hand and went jellyfishing. I also noticed these electrifying jellyfish. I thought they were a faster way to fish them like the swift sailfish, but instead I got stung and stunned. I guess my application to the jelly spotters is getting denied now. A sea monster appeared. Well, that's a you problem, not mine. Unfortunately, because I'm throwing them in the bank deposit, I actually don't know how much blue blubber jellyfishes I have fished already, so that's something we're going to have to find out at the end of this challenge. And I am also guilty of AFKing too much that I'm standing still and doing nothing. Regardless, the mystery of how much blue blubbers that I actually fish will be known at the end of this challenge. With that, wraps up day 3, and I shall prepare for the next day. For day 4, what I mean by low level combat is killing very weak monsters with very low HP. For example, guards. For this occasion, let's dress up as someone that will be terrorizing the guards of North Yanao. The main reason for killing guards is to get the most valuable drop, grapes, which are 11k each. I covered this in my free-to-play guide if you want to check that out. I decided to try this in North Yanao instead of Falador. That is because there are more guards here. But then I found navigating through the North Yanao market is too complicated, so I ended up going back to Falador in the end. I also realized my bone picker was crushing the bones, so I decided to make it so it doesn't crush them anymore, so that I get that extra GP from bones. But then I realized my bone arrow just couldn't keep up with the low spawn rates of the guards, so I was looking for something else to do. I first went to the Archaeology Guild to get my Death Note relic back, and then I went to Northwest Yanao to kill some wolves. The main reason being that their bones and meat are worth quite a lot in the Grand Exchange. But after clearing all the wolves here, I realized that their spawn rates here are too slow, and there's no nearby bank for me to deposit the meat. I tried Felled Up Hills Lowstone, but there's just so much clutter here, and the bank is nowhere nearby either. So I went to give bats a try since they drop bat bones and bat wing, but a problem I found was while the rates were okay here, the bat wing drop rates sucked, so bats are off the table. So I tried different types of wolves like the ones south of Relica, but these one had way too much HP. Eventually I found desert wolves to be the best ones. There's about 55 of them in the desert, which is a lot more than I needed. It's a wide open space, very easy to move around, and there's a bank nearby in Shanty Pass where I can store all the meat. This is perfect. And sometimes I will get the occasional camel kill, which gets me their meat, which is worth a lot too, if it sells, that is. With just a little bit more than an hour to play today, I decided to spend my time in the desert killing desert wolves for their bones and meat. And at the end of the day, this is how much wolves I've killed in the desert. I do have some extra wolf bones in the bank, and I don't know how much meat that I actually collect, so we'll know at the end of the challenge. And with that, that wraps up day 4, and time to prepare for day 5. Day 5, as I mentioned from day 1, Capsarius is going to be the creature I'm going to be killing for high level combat. With that in mind, let's get going. For the first hour, I started with Vampirism Aura, and then I would kill them until my inventory is full of items. Then I head back to the bank to recharge my prayer and deposit them. However, I eventually concluded that going back to the bank to recharge my prayer took too much time, so I just stopped using my prayer for the first hour. And I did already think about this, but I tried to reclaim my Slayer Codex so I can teleport there faster, but there was no option to do it, and my Slayer Codex is in my bank, so can't do anything about that. And if everybody remembers the change, Corruption Shot was made to aggro mobs, right? But for some reason, I guess that change got reverted at some point, because now they're not aggroing. And I started the second hour with Penance Aura, which allowed me to use the prayers. With the penance aura expiring, I consider this the end of the day. Even though a lot of drops are in the bank, the shards alone are worth so much. I'm also going to be saving these potatoes for tomorrow, but until then, see you all tomorrow. Day 6. I decided to start day 6 with the Barros brothers. It's time to pick up the shovels and start digging and disturbing them. To start the first hour, I started with Penance Aura. Now, I'll be honest, I actually wasn't sure if I was to kill at least 5 of the Barros brothers before heading down to the tunnels. I kinda just YOLO through this, and let's just say some of the casing never counted. Wait, this guy can protect from ranged? I assume these are used for Rise of the 6. Can I snipe you to remove those protection prayers? Nope. I should expect that. I blame RuneScape for this. I actually got a plate body drop. That's nice. Now in day 1, I remembered I mentioned should I try to find my way out of here or should I just teleport out of here? The way I decide that is if I'm low on prayer and I'm low on health, I will teleport out of here. If I have a lot of health and a lot of prayer, I will just find my way out of here. What? You have the ability to come down here? I sure love playing around with the interface closing when I'm being attacked. That's twice in a row you showed up here. Did store some of the stuff into the bank. With the first hour pretty much wrapped up, I decided to spend the next hour at Chaos Elemental. Not the most exciting boss to kill, but what I would do is fill up my inventory so I could stop de-equipping my items. And if my inventory gets too full, I would just head back. Using Vampirism Aura as my timer, I just casually killed this Chaos Elemental and constantly complaining about it teleporting me and not equipping my items. Don't even think about teleporting me there, you creepy eye monster. Oh my god, this eye monster keeps constantly unequipping my items, and it's only been a few seconds. Oh my gosh, stop it. Oh wow, I wasn't expecting a Vesta's plate scared from this eye monster. And that's the end of the hour. I am actually not sure what my total loot from that is, but I'm not expecting it to be that high. With that being said, time to wrap up day 6 and prepare for day 7. As I enter the final day, I wanted to at least try the skilling boss and see how that goes without the Gargoyle Familiar. With that being said, let's give it a shot. Without the Gargoyle Familiar, I'm expecting it to be much slower and more difficult, and I won't have defenses to use, which means I need to head back for healing. The kill looks like it was going well until I made a big mistake and got hit for 6k, and everything started going downhill from there because I'm constantly eating food now. And I finally managed to get a kill, and then only to be greeted by the bank pin, so I don't even know what I got. Blue did go into the chest outside, but I still can't see it because it's also protected by the bank pin. And if you're wondering if you can use necromancy, well, you can't because the bank pin won't let you use necromancy. I was able to claim some free stuff though. Looking at the other days, this is my prediction on which method made the most money for me. Now I could be wrong, but I know one thing for sure is the non-AFK scaling method, which is the propellants, made the most money out of every other method. With that being said, I want to spend the rest of the day doing that to make sure I make the most money today. And with day 7 wrapped up, I made about 28 mil from the propellants alone. And now, we just wait until we can see how much money did I actually make in the last 7 days. Today is the day. Before I do that, I'm going to send my drums from the Gate of Lindness to the bank. That's a lot of stuff in the bank. Let's grab my propellants and about 5k runes for chaos runes and mine runes because I wasn't keeping track. And let's start selling them to the Grand Exchange. $92 mil. I'd say I'm flabbergasted. I could have made more if I had focused on propellants, but that would have been so boring. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed seeing what it's like to make money without a bank pin starting with nothing but your account progress. Hit the like, leave a comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. Now, what is more likely is you forgot your pin and your membership already expired, and you don't want to renew it until after 7 days. What do you do now to make money and free to play for the next 7 days?